Now daylight is gone and London lights are bright. Big shows and big names. Together, backstage and auditoriums wake to life. At Wyndham's Theatre, Charles Laughton is in his dressing room, setting about the long task of making up for his part in Edgar Wallace's Chicago gangster thriller, On the Spot. "10 minutes, Mr. Laughton." Stalls, circle and boxes filling, all over Theatreland. Behind the safety curtains, last-minute preparations and thrills that never die. The thrill of, "Overture and beginners, please." Mr. Laughton now transformed. Tony Pirelli to the life. "I love Jimmy. Jimmy's a nice boy." All over town, the last props into place, lights, music, and curtain up. A big, lavish musical, this one. Princess Charming, with all the trimmings that go with the fantasy of the Balkans. The lead, George Grossmith, for so long actor, manager, and producer. Later, film producer with Alexander Korda. Ruritania, or its nearest neighbor, in all its glory and with all its endless intrigue. Princes and princesses, loves and hates, save his honor, his love and the state. Or is it his honor or his love or the state? Well, whatever the choice, something has to be sacrificed or there wouldn't be a show. But then it all comes right in the end, if for no other reason than it just has to. I mean, it's in the script. Over at His Majesty's, in James Elroy Flecker's lyrical Hassan, Henry Ainley. Trilby, with Lynn Harding as Svengali, putting the fluence on Phyllis Nielsen Terry. Simple? At the Aldwych, the misunderstandings are already being well misunderstood. Tom Walls and Rafe Lynn sharing a bed in Thark. Well, not exactly sharing. Elsewhere, a comedy with comedian Gene Gerrard. In complicated troubles with the French police. Oh yes, they always had to be French police. Was the British force too staid for this sort of thing? Gene seems to be very much attached to his girlfriend. Or is it somebody else's wife? A lot of sorting out to do here, one feels sure. And who might this be? Tripping up Edward Chapman. A real treasure to have about the house, as if we didn't recognize the young lady from Rochdale. Our Gracie Fields being somewhat Chaplinesque. Was the show Mr. Tower of London? Could be. The headmaster of Music Hall himself, Will Hay, as always hard-pressed to outwit his bright but unruly pupils. Billy Merson, then Nellie Wallace, and the rest of their acrobatic team, including Nervo and Knox. With such a troupe, something must go wrong, and does. A lady on skates with a chair. Art and magnificent timing as always. from Beatrice Lilly. The era of the musicals. From the princes and princesses to old Vienna and student Heidelberg, choruses of ladies-in-waiting, milkmaids, gypsies, or girlfriends of the Paris vagabonds. Incas or red-skinned maidens sweeping around the totem poles of Rosemarie. The costumes and settings might be different, but the plot's invariably much the same, whether with the Riffs or the Habsburgs or the wide-headed mustachios of Rio Rita. Spain, Algeria, Mexico, or Gay Paris. But the real innovation of the 20s was the bright, sparkling musical of sophistication, of the house parties, the Riviera and Berkeley Square, slender plots, mere excuses for singing and dancing, interlaced with shining bursts of rich comedy. Top hats and tails. Long before Astaire popularized them in the screen musicals. Steps and business from such as Herbert Munden that held the freshness that only comes with real talent. Hollywood very soon wooed him away. And they were fast shows at that. Quick changes of scene and costume demanding rapid timing and the shedding and donning of clothes at breakneck speed. For those with the most time, the dressing room. For others with but seconds, the stage itself. Systematically, the chorus prepares for the next headlong spurt while the principals do their spots. The principals. Where again such magic as the dancing moods of Jack Buchanan and June? Has anyone since ever been quite so debonair, quite so disarming? How effortless their effort seemed. George Grossmith again. Did I say it was the same night? It couldn't have been, of course, but no matter. A phone call, obviously highly important to the plot, with René Gad supplying the distraction. No other course for Mr. Grossmith but to join in. Oh yes, he could dance too. A reluctant baby car. So much the rage just about then, and trying to cope with it and his girlfriend at the same time, Jack Hulbert.